Welcome. My name is Jagan, and I'm the author of Ocellus. And this podcast is to allow you the opportunity to join me on the journey of what has happened from 40 years ago up until now. So here we go. If I had to call this anything, I would call it Rip Off the Band Aid because that's exactly what this is right now. I personally have not participated in a podcast before. This is my first experience. So it's going to be a learning experience for sure. But to start off, 40 years ago, my roommate and I were getting ready for a Halloween party, and we decided that year we were going to be aliens. And we had decided we were going to be coming from another planet. We decided what powers we wanted to have. And to be quite honest, we were pretty creative at that moment because we decided to do things like take swimsuits and boots, curtains, and create our characters. So we came up with our names. I was a very friendly, social person. So I decided that I wanted to be Predator. That was my name. My name was Predator, and the power decided to come up. My roommate, she became the Effector. So we had the Effector and the Predator, and because we were from different parts of the country, going to college, I was from the East Coast. She was from the West Coast. So we decided that I would be from the Eastern Hemisphere and her character would be from the Western Hemisphere. All right, we're moving right along here. Then we decided, okay, we're going to do the power of the eyes. And based on our characters, um, my power of the eye was supposed to be I was a trancer. I was supposed to put men in trance. Hey, we were in college. And she decided, since everybody came across thinking that she was like this really sharp edged kind of personality, that she was going to inflict pain upon people with her gaze, or men, okay, specifically men. All right, so, um, well, because we decided we had to come up with the name of the planet that we were from. So at this point, it was a planet, and the planet was after doing research, looking into anything to do with the eyes, we decided that the name of our planet was going to be Ocellus. That's how we pronounced it, because back in the day, we didn't have Google and phones and stuff to hear the proper pronunciation of stuff, back in the day, So, hey, so we decided we were from Ocellus. I was from the Eastern Hemisphere, she was from the Western Hemisphere, and thus became the first characters to be produced for this novel. Now, just to give you some background, I am a big time X-Men fan. I had started reading and collecting back in college, and I was heavy into like drawing and comics and collecting. And so when we finished these characters coming up with names and planets and powers and everything, I decided I wanted to draw them and thus became the first two drawn characters of Ocellus. So at this point, just to let you know, if I had to describe Ocellus, I think the best way to describe it would be if you mixed Game of Thrones, House of Dragons with X-Men, their baby would look like Ocellus. Ocellus is not set in a faraway time. It's not set in a super advanced time, but it does seem to come across as the future a little bit. And the powers are not superhero powers, they have to deal with genetics. And to me, that kind of comes across a little bit from uh, the uh, the vampire movies, where they kind of, it was a chemical type of thing. Um, but I don't want to mention any names. But yeah, so I wanted it to be more of a genetic thing, kind of pulling a little bit from the X-Men type of situation as well too. So anyway, I started thinking about um, people, and I look at people's hairstyles or a particular person, uh, their face, or something about them that would make me think about, I should make a character. And slowly I started creating characters to be a part of this world. Now, this way back in grade school, I was even developing comic book characters. So I've had an interest in comics and characters for a long time. And so this wasn't like something that all of a sudden I just started doing. It was just something that I decided to do at this point with the canvas of people before me. So I started developing characters first, as I met people. And I started storyboarding because the idea was to have a graphic novel. So originally, Ocellus was meant to be a comic book graphic novel. And as I got older, got married, fast forward, um, I'm in my 40s. I've had children by this time. I've been married, divorced, and somehow I started picking up and drawing the characters again. And this was like pre even The Matrix. I remember when The Matrix came out, I said, "Oh, that's really cool. That reminds me of my project." And at that point, I thought, yeah, maybe that'll give me some incentive to work on it. Time goes by. Now I'm in my fast forward to my 50s. And at this point, I've relocated to another state. My children are in California. And I, I am like having a really tough time with the loss of my mother. And I remember watching a movie, and it had like uh, Robert De Niro in it as a father, and he was going to the cities and meeting, trying to catch up with his children. And I don't know what it was, but there was something about that movie that just made me think of my mom, who I had just lost. And all of a sudden, I decided, I think I'm going to write instead of do a comic book with my characters. I've had them all these years, I've been developing them all these years. And so then I had a visitor, a friend that had come to visit me, and she introduced me to NaNoWriMo. And I remember her talking about it, and she says, it's coming up. You should try it. I'm going to be doing it. And I said to myself at this time, after watching this movie, I said, you know what? I'm going to do NaNoWriMo. October's come just right. I mean, November. It's right around the corner. And I just started writing down my characters, my notes. I got out my papers, my drawings. And the next thing you know, a month goes by and I had my first book. Now, this was in 2012. I'm on fire. I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the series, 5-book series. Well, that was the first book, 2012. Fast forward. Yeah, another fast forward. Um, Probably about a couple of years later, I got through the second book. I think it was like 2019. I think it's like about 2019. I got through the second book. And at this point, I've got 2 books now. And I said to myself, when I get to the third book, I'm going to start really trying to do something with this. Well, the third book didn't get finished until 2023. And it's been over 40 years now. When I look back and it's like, oh my goodness, these characters are older than my children. They grew up with me telling them about it and talking about it. And I just decided to pick it back up again and do something with it. So, this being here right now is me saying to you, it's been a long journey. See if you can help me get through this next part of the journey. And I might need help, but I'm going to try to make myself accountable by doing this. And if in the meantime, I can encourage somebody else who's been sitting on a dream that they've been marinating and not doing anything with it or doing something with it, picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. If you can maybe see me, and if I can do anything to encourage you to do it, that would be great. That's what I would want. That's what I want. If I can say to you, it's not too late, rip the band-aid off, just do it, bumps and all, bumps, bruises and all, go for it. Go for it. So right now, I'm going to kind of wrap it up a little bit, but I leave you with this. I'm going to continue to share um, the whole road of how this is going forward, how it happened, when it happened, and all of that. But the most important thing I want to share is the encouragement to have you do whatever it is. If somehow you can see me succeed in this journey, and I definitely have a whole bunch of hurdles to get over and don't know what the heck I'm doing. If some way, somehow I can do it, you can too. And that's what I want to say. So, and I guess you're supposed to kind of say, it's kind of like a little homework assignment I want to give you. Um, what is it that you stopped working on that you need to pick up and do again? Take a baby step. Because guess what? If you take enough baby steps, you'll still get to the finish line. So until next time, I will try to give you look forward to next time. I'm going to do a little bit of what Ocellus involves as far as some of its characters and backstory. But until next time, officially, the Band-Aid has been ripped off. Bye.